Hey gang, this week on Coffin Fodder, I hope you've still got those COVID masks. You know, all 12 of them, because this week we are talking Black Death.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
I like to dissect girls.
This is God.
We have such sights to show you.
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
I see dead red.
Even in hell.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no tears, please.
Here's Johnny.
Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Coffin Fodder. I am your host, Mike Warby, and I am joined by a man who whips himself in repentance every night.
You're not even wrong.
Mr. Kyle Mickelborough.
That's me.
And of course, a man who is definitely hiding black lesions somewhere in his body. Huzzah! Mr. Brady Silger. Huzzah! And this week we are talking Christopher Smith's 2010 medieval horror film Black Death. Anyway, so this is a film about
The Black Death?
Yes. In this film, a priest is at a monastery. He's basically our main character.
Yeah.
He's at a monastery, and these knights come, and they're looking for a priest to take them to this small village where supposedly nobody's being affected by the plague, because obviously this takes place during the Black Plague of the 1300s. And yeah, nobody's supposed to be down there, and it turns out the knights think something evil is going on there, so they want to go there and kill people because that's what they do.
That's what they do. They got to see if there's a line that Sean Bean's character says about they got to see if God's actually there or not, because they have to check this out. If someone claims God exists in this town to protect them, they have to
Because it's a miracle.
yeah,
in that
exactly.
case.
So they have to investigate. Yeah. And the young monk Osric, played by Osmond, played by Eddie Redmayne. Yeah, awesome dude.
See, and it feels like he's supposed to be the main character.
Yeah.
But it feels more like it's Ulrich's movie. Sean Bean?
I would say so as well.
After his character's introduced.
Yes, once he comes in, it's
which isn't long, like 10 minutes into the movie, maybe?
Early on.
15, yeah.
It's close, yeah.
Anyway, also going on is the fact that Osmond is having a secret affair with a woman.
Mm-hmm. He's breaking his vows.
Is hoping to run away with her.
Yeah. And the young monk decided that sex was wasn't worth giving up for. Wasn't worth giving up.
Hey,
for
there's worse people he could be sleeping with.
That's very true.
There have been certain scandals attached to the Catholic Church, so it could be a lot worse.
They've got problems, yeah.
All right, but before we jump into the plot of the film, I think we should chat a little bit about the death count of the Black Plague.
Of the plague itself?
Because most people don't, I don't know most people, but I would say generally most people don't know how brutal the Black Plague really was.
It swept. Like, it was a global pandemic.
It was all of Europe and all of Asia, and my reading suggests that the death rate was about 35% to 70%.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
And
huge.
So what I looked up out of curiosity, considering how disruptive COVID was for us,
that's when I looked this
was how I was curious.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't look for the entire world, but
no.
The population of Canada, for those who don't know, is about 40 million, and the COVID deaths that I saw were only about 60,000.
Right, which is by comparison, it's not even close, right?
By my math, it was 1/670th of the population died during COVID in Canada.
1/670th versus the
versus 35 to 70%.
Yeah, of the population, right?
It's mind-blowing.
It's crazy
to consider.
Yeah.
Like, we live in Regina,
yeah,
about 230,000 people.
Yeah, so if you average that out, every 1 out of 2 people, like 50%, right?
Yeah, so just imagine half the people at your work dead, half the people, like, it's
a crazy number.
And that's why I wanted to read that book, The Great Mortality.
Right.
Because I find the Black Death so fascinating. It's such a dark, horrible time.
It is.
Oh yeah. It's so hard to even fathom what that would be like.
I couldn't. I mean, even if someone had explained what COVID was going to do to me prior to COVID, I would have been skeptical, right? So to think of something that is that much more deadly and has that much higher kill count, that is a crazy idea.
So yeah, I mean, it's interesting considering COVID is so recent, and we're still noticing the after effects of that time period,
right?
And by comparison, it's like a drop in the bucket,
right?
Compared to the Black Death.
Yeah, like we shut down the world, right? You know, the whole world stayed inside essentially by comparison to something
like that. And if we
didn't
do that, who's to say what the numbers would have actually been?
Right.
Because we now understand medicine, whereas they didn't back then.
Yeah. They used a lot of herbs and remedies, whereas we have.
Well, and a lot of people just thought it was
witchcraft.
Yeah, witchcraft or a purge sent by God to punish the people of the world.
Yeah, and I mean, that's where this movie leads into, is they think it's a necromancer in this village that's protecting it, right? But so it leans into the occult side of things, assuming that it must be the devil's work.
Yeah, and I think that creates like a really interesting framework for the movie. I think this is a really fascinating movie.
It is.
And I'm glad I picked it because I haven't watched it. I watched it once, like when it first came out, and I haven't seen it since.
What, when it first came out?
Like 2010.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I saw it much later than that because it was on whatever streaming service I found it on.
Funny enough, I just found it at Walmart. I just saw the cover.
Yeah, and you're like,
it was just DVD rack, and I looked at the cover, and I'm like, oh, Sean Bean.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that looks fucking sweet.
That's what made me watch
and
it.
Then I turned it over and read what it was about, and I was like, holy fuck, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, me too, man. I saw.
And then it was like $8 or whatever, so I was like, fuck yeah, let's grab this and see what it's like.
Yeah,
some of the best gems come from the Walmart $8 wall, where it's like that's where I found Cabin in the Woods.
Hell yeah, great movie.
I think half of your picks have been found on the bottom of the bargain bin.
yeah, they were in the 99 cent.
The throwaway bin.
Yeah. So he sends Avril away.
Yeah.
Osmond sends Avril away, which that's important.
It is.
Because he's going to look for his opportunity of essentially to escape.
Yeah.
Meet up with her, and then they can run away together.
She wants to go to the place where he's originally from. They explain that a little bit later. Like with the group, but like she essentially, I'll meet you at this statue every morning for a week until if I don't see you.
Yeah, that's their rendezvous, secret rendezvous point or whatever.
Osmond had prayed to God for a sign, and it was
and then
Ulrich shows up.
Yeah. And he needs one priest.
One guy.
So, Osmond volunteers and then ends up going with them. He meets this crew of, I think it's six sort of surly knights.
Yep, some real rough-looking dudes,
And some of them are a bit
pretty fucked up,
You got two guys who seem to be pretty decent guys. Ulrich and Wolfstan. Those seem to be the two...
The ones with heads screwed on right.
Yeah, and because it seems like some of these guys they explain their backstories briefly.
Yeah, they're
one
all...
of them's at least one of them's an ex-criminal.
I think they're all survivors of war veterans, criminals. They're all... Killing is pretty normal for these dudes.
They were in the French War.
Right.
And that's where the guy with the axe gets his tongue cut out in the war by the French.
Yeah, Ivor.
Ivor, yeah.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that they said something like he wouldn't talk, and then so they took his tongue,
they
basically to punish him, because
Yeah.
he wouldn't give up the information or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are our guys, and Ulrich goes with them, and probably the next key thing that happens is them being attacked in the woods, right?
As they just start their journey, right? And I think they get close to where Osmond's supposed to meet. Is it Avril?
Avril,
yeah. Avril, why do you gotta be so complicated?
Boo. And then so he goes off looking for their spot, and that's where he encounters.
Brady's gonna make me into a hater boy with jokes like that.
I golf clapped at that.
I hate this.
So they first actual fight scene in the film is they get attacked by what seems to be mercenaries. We'll get back to that later because it seems like they might be connected.
It's hard to say. It does sort of imply that they're connected to something. But they also kind of just seem like they could be road bandits,
Could just
vagabonds.
Could be what they called highwaymen.
Exactly, yeah.
A bunch of roadmen, a bunch of naughty boys.
Yeah, a bunch of naughty boys. Yeah. There's many of them. They far outnumber these guys, but these guys are such grizzly fucking badasses.
I love
destroy them.
Yeah,
Such a good fight scene.
I think what's awesome about that fight scene is that you can see the difference between men of war,
yes,
and just like thieves.
Thugs.
They attack the wrong
fucking dudes. Yeah, they got just destroyed.
They just fucked with the wrong Mexican.
Ulrich also tells Osmond that a lot of people on the other countryside have become cannibals and rogue, and they stop caring because of the plague.
Yeah, it's tough times, right? Yeah, half the country's essentially dead or dying. There's no money,
actually,
no food.
Man, you can't even believe how brutal that time period is, because there was a famine right beforehand, and that's why they're mentioning the cannibalism. Because like that time period, oh man, I won't give you guys the laundry list of all the horrible things in that book. But,
please do.
But holy,
I think you should. I think you should, because it sets the backstory for this movie and explains where these people were at least briefly.
Yeah, well, I mean, during the famine, parents killed their children.
Right.
Children killed their parents.
Yeah.
Parents abandoned their children in the woods.
Couldn't feed them.
They were, in a particularly grisly detail, was digging up freshly buried corpses and ripping the brains out of them and eating them.
Yeah, I mean, you're dying of starvation. You're desperate, right? You need food.
It's fucking horrendous.
Yeah. Doesn't Hansel and Gretel, that story comes from
that's
that?
Absolutely, that's
like
exactly
throwing your kids into the woods.
Yeah, abandoning your kids in the woods, which is why the witch is trying to eat them in the fairy tale.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking, and of course, also she lives in a magic house made of candy.
Of course.
Her house is made of food. Of course she would. Of course they would. Go to her.
Yeah.
I could give you guys a whole bunch of crazy crap, but that one's like the famine. The fact that this was basically sandwiched between one horrible thing after another, essentially. It was like this was just like the worst time to be a person in England or in Europe or Asia. Essentially, it didn't make it to Africa, and obviously
there's other places. Yeah,
there was only there was one or two missions had come to North America and South America at that time,
but the world was much more segregated back then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was mainly Europe and Asia were.
But today my day is ruined if my Tim Hortons order is wrong.
Oh yeah, it's a wild whatever. The Great Mortality. Yeah, I would encourage people to read it if they're curious about horrible stuff like I am. Which, I mean, you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah, you probably are.
What are you doing here if you're not interested in
out of here
in horrible shit? Anyway, back to the Black Death though.
Yes.
So yes, during the attack, the character Evo is killed protecting Osmond.
Yeah.
It's
Osmond, I believe, intervenes to save one of them. And then
has to run away.
Runs away into the cave.
Yeah.
And then Evo comes and saves him right before he gets killed, but is stabbed, sort of ironically, right through his jaw and up into his brain.
He'd already lost his tongue, man. Come on.
Yeah. It's sort of ironic. I think they picked that up. Did that death happen like that on purpose?
Yeah.
That bandit or whatever, he grabs the knife off of Ivo and stabs it straight into him because he's swinging his axe and he gets a few good hits in and
simultaneous.
The guy he kills him and the knife goes in him and they blame Osmond for a while because of you.
It's and that takes us to the reason why Ulrich basically blames him, because he was leading them not directly to where they're supposed to go. He was leading them off the path a little bit to where he needed to meet Avril.
Yeah.
And so once they realized that he was really trying to meet this girl, he's like, you got two of my men killed.
Mm-hmm. For your own purposes.
Yeah. Because I don't know if the implication is meant to be, because the next guy who dies is the guy who's got the Griff.
Yeah.
He's the guy who is revealed to have caught the Black Plague.
Right, and he's hiding it from the group, which they're of course.
But he starts coughing blood or something, and that clues them in.
Yeah.
And then Wolfstan takes him out.
Right.
And so that's two
dead.
Two dead, yeah.
Two dead.
So
they also explain that all of the well, I'll just refer to them as soldiers instead of calling by name, but they've got these little things that instead of killing for mercy, go up through the armpit and straight to the heart.
Oh, they're nail breakers. They're those
They use another name for it in the movie, but I don't remember what it was.
I'm not.
They're like there's a few different names.
Yeah.
Mercy killers
Something
or
like that.
It's something mercy.
the idea is to go through the hole in the armpit on chainmail and
straight to the heart,
right into the heart for a quick merciful death. So it turns out that when Osmond goes to meet Avril, she doesn't show, but he finds evidence that she was there.
That she was there.
I think a shroud of hers or something.
He finds blood
on her
piece
I
of
guess
clothing.
shroud, and then her horse is still there.
Right.
He recognizes the horse first, and then sees the blood trail to the horse.
And that's worth mentioning because the two bandits that get away when they're attacked get their horses, so now they're on foot.
Now they're on foot. They're stuck. Yeah.
And they can't properly take the Iron Maiden either because they brought that kind of like
they brought that like trap that
it's sort of like an Iron
away.
Maiden-esque.
It is essentially an Iron Maiden, but with a axe to drop on him, like a guillotine to slice him in half, which is fucking sweet.
The torturer guy says it'll cut from asshole to apple.
That's
and I was
right.
like,
yeah.
What's that even mean? And then I figured it's like I'll cut an apple in half, but also cut you from head to asshole.
Yeah.
I was like, that's funny.
Perfect.
Also, that thing looks sweet.
It's fucking sweet. Yeah.
Man, speaking of which, I won't get into a huge diatribe about this, but I also read a book called The Faithful Executioner.
Oh.
And it was based on a journal of a medieval executioner.
Yep.
And again, if you want to hear some horrible fucking shit, read that book because
I can only imagine.
it's he was a medieval torturer and executioner for 35 years.
Well, it's like
and he kept a journal of everything that he did working for the crown.
Awesome.
And it's fucking it's a brutal.
Well, and like things were so rudimentary back then that it was like torture was the fucking
and
worst.
they ruled by fear.
Yeah. So it was commonplace as well, right?
Yeah, they just it's just people thinking of the most horrible fucking ways to kill people to keep the population in check, essentially.
Yeah, so you don't want to die a horrible, slow, gruesome death.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have a horror movie podcast if it wasn't for those guys.
So thank you, really.
Yes.
And our next guest is the Executioner.
We appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you for your fine work, sir.
Yeah,
so
they have to leave it because they get to the the edge of the marsh.
Yeah, they get to the edge of the marsh.
And
They're
can't
almost
haul
at the
that
village.
shit. Yeah.
And they leave it there, and they don't have horses to pull it through, even. So they cross the swamp on foot, and they make it to the village, where they meet rock superstars, the village people.
The village people. Although way less cool.
No.
Most of these village people don't seem very active. Although they're right, the place was untouched by the plague. It was clean and clear, at least as far as is shown or we know. And they bump into tall, dark, and handsome Hob there, Mr. Grimace.
Oh, Hob is intense,
He
man.
is intense, yeah.
He's a good heavy.
Very well, and as soon as as soon as you meet Hob, that clearly this village is not cool. Like there's something amiss here. There's some secret being kept. There's a threatening aura to the introduction of this character.
Yeah, there's sinister undertones.
That's the best way to put it. Yeah, for sure.
Sorry to jump back, but our marshes are usually looked at in folklore as evil places where spirits
gather.
And like the dead will go to like rest, but they can't rest because it's boggy water and stuff, and them not being able to take their Iron Maiden through the marsh is kind of, I think, was maybe symbolizing like, oh, you can't take a religious battle, but that's more me just probably overthinking the entire thing. But
so they're in the village, and there's definitely Ulrich is already quite suspicious of these people.
Instantly,
he's pretty sure. Somehow he sees one of they all wear the same necklace. All the guys in like the night crew.
Right, all the knights.
The holy knights of the something
the leaders of the bishop's guard, like the leaders, like Ulrich is. The necklace he finds on the girl is part of the bishop's holy knights.
Oh, that's what it is. The girl comes up.
He finds out
because they're basically trying to midsummer them.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Where they're like throwing all the girls at them and trying to get them.
They're luring
drunk
them
and,
in. Yeah.
You can see that they're trying to figure out how to fuck with them so that they can get them off guard.
Yeah, and we meet what's her name? It's a funny name, Lang. It's the girl that Carice Van Houten plays.
Yes. Again, we have two.
That's the second Game of Thrones.
We have two Game of Thrones alum in this.
Yeah.
Carice Van Houten, who played Melisandre on Game of Thrones, the Fire Witch. For those of you who are
the gorgeous red-haired woman.
Yes. And her name is Langiva.
Yeah, so she bumps into Osmond very much on purpose and gets him pulled aside because he had been injured at one point.
He was stabbed in the cave when he was fighting off the guy that killed Borg.
Yes, she has like witch type remedies.
Well, yeah, she's salves and poultices. Yeah.
The question that they're dealing with and that the audience is dealing with throughout is any of this real? Is there real magic in this village?
Well, yeah, because
or is this just because it's an isolated village? It's possible that just nobody came there with the Black Plague.
Yeah, which I don't know if that's even on their minds. They think they're dealing with a necromancer or something, right?
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor. So very much they suspect that there's devil foul play.
And Ulrich also mentions that there was a previous expedition sent there and they didn't come back.
That's right, yes.
Which is why
he finds that.
When he sees the necklace, he knows
there's been foul
they
play.
made it. They made it to the village.
Exactly.
And at least one of them didn't leave.
They made contact in some way or another,
Yeah.
They also point out that it's mostly women in the village, so maybe the guys that attacked in the beginning, or that spotted Osmond were part of the village.
That's what I was referencing.
Yeah, and it's implied enough, but it's never.
They never say outright.
No.
But there's a certain key scene with two horses later, and it made me wonder if those were literally the two horses that they got stolen.
Okay, so I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that either.
Nice.
Again, none of it's said in the movie.
Ever
but once I realized later, I'm like, you don't see any horses in the village until they bring those horses out.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that they wouldn't have any horses.
Well,
in the
and
village.
the fact that there's so few men in the village would make sense because they have foraging parties going on.
All those guys who got killed would have been like some of the people living in the village.
Exactly.
I think that they don't say it outright, but I think
it's implied.
The implication is meant to be because then all of their misfortune essentially comes from the village.
Yeah, because we don't meet anybody outside the band, like the 6 soldiers in Osmond and the village. The rest of the cast is essentially, there's a couple people in the church and so on and so forth.
And I have to say, I'm sure David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, who made Game of Thrones, I don't know if they saw this movie, because Melisandre is almost the exact same character.
Yeah, you're correct.
They're almost literally the exact same character.
Yeah.
Like, sexy, deliberately using her sex appeal to manipulate you, and then also has these magic powers, mysterious magic powers that you don't really know how they work, or whatever. But there's definitely something sinister about them. So I'm like,
absolutely.
So I wasn't sure if it was like Sean Bean was cast, like if they saw this movie and cast both of them. Sean Bean's a pretty big actor, so he's probably they didn't need to see him in this to cast him.
Well, he was in Lord of the Rings,
but
that's kind of a similar.
It's just interesting that.
But that she plays two such similar characters, I don't know.
And he's very similar to Ned Stark in this film, also.
Yeah, I mean, he plays that guy a lot, so it's hard to say. But
noble knight type character.
Exactly.
Yes. So anyway, back to the Black Death. So yeah, they've met Hob, they've met Langiva, and they now know about the necklace, and so the seeds of intrigue have been planted.
It's planted, and they very quickly move into the supper scene, right?
Yeah, they're starting. Ulrich is starting to. Ulrich is quite suspicious. They get invited for supper. That's after she's healed Osmond.
Yes. Yeah.
Fairly miraculously.
Well, and she's planted a lot of seeds with Osmond already to cast doubt into what he's doing there and about there being.
She's starting to pull
with
his
the village.
Yeah, he's the one she's targeting.
Yeah, she's targeted him exactly.
Their village is very anti-God and anti-religion.
Yeah,
you can tell that right at the beginning.
That's very key because we're at the supper scene, and that's where Ulrich makes a point of doing a very long
grace.
Full mass.
Yeah.
Or grace, full grace.
And they outwardly mock him for it, which at this time would have been like a crazy thing to do, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Christianity is well rooted in.
Yeah, she's basically, her and Hobb are basically kind of rolling their eyes and smiling during it. And then she says, like, I thought he was going to do the Lord's Prayer, not some, like,
something long.
She says some sort of smart-ass thing about it. And then they, of course, the many sexy ladies are still trying to seduce them, and
very
I think they get
though.
one or two of them, maybe.
They get most of them.
The one guy basically very fervently tells them to fuck off.
Yeah, because he's psycho.
He's figuring out that maybe this is
right, and that's what I've only seen this movie I think twice now. I always thought it was weird, it just out of character that these guys wouldn't have suspected that there would be something drugged in the drink or the food when they're in this place that they clearly have suspicions of.
Well, most of them are criminals, and like the one guy, when they will tend to your wounds, and the one criminal part of their group goes, "I'll tend to your wound." Right? Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
For medieval times, that's pretty good.
They also, when they're introducing their characters, the one. Wolfsten?
Wolfsten is the very noble guy.
Yeah, he goes, oh yeah, he's a rapist, he's a thief,
right?
He tortures people.
Like these are all gutter dudes.
Yeah, he goes,
they're basically converted pieces of shit. Mm-hmm. They're, I mean, again, speaking of Game of Thrones, they may as well be the Night's Watch. Essentially, they're all disgraced
armed criminals.
They're all disgraced criminals and outcasts and shit who have basically been put into the service of the church.
Mm-hmm.
I'd assume instead of having a full prison sentence or being executed,
that's what Knights. Yeah, I mean you're not a Game of Thrones guy, but that's what Night's Watch is in that show. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's all the scoundrel, like basically scoundrels in Game of Thrones are often offered that as an alternative to being executed or being in prison.
Yeah, and I think you'd rather take the be alive and fight for something you don't believe in than which is a
and on the flip side of that, if you're employing someone like that to fight and kill, and you employ someone you know already has fought and killed, it makes a lot more sense to have that person rather than someone that might not be able to actually.
I think the old phrase is or proverb or whatever is. You don't melt down the cannon, you point it at your enemy.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of having a criminal in your streets, put him in an armor and a sword and
point him at the bad guys.
Put him in your sheets.
Yeah. Give him a couple gold pieces.
Yeah, so, which one you said that you thought they wouldn't have noticed?
Me. Oh, I thought it was weird, but also, you're right, maybe they just want to drink. They're not that smart.
Oh, yeah, man, hey. You guys drugged my beer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still...
Alcohol.
Pretty women.
Alcohol and boobs.
Yeah, you sold me. Puts you off your game. So yes, they are summarily drugged by the alcohol that they've been drinking.
Yes.
And now we're getting to like the real.
This is where it gets gross.
The real dark part of the movie.
This is where you start to understand why it's on a horror movie podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, before we get to that, because that's basically from there we're heading into the finale in the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But before that, we should mention that Osmond, whether it's real or not, she says that Avril has been killed.
Yes.
They found her body at which again would make sense that it was the same people.
I agree.
Because
they know
they're right next to.
Yeah, and they know that. Probably that she was there to meet someone. Otherwise, what else is this girl doing in the forest by herself? Like, they would probably clue into this being something.
But those knights were by there, and that's where he was going to meet her. So
it makes sense that those guys are.
All this stuff happened during this little this
village,
this tiny little right next to this place. Anyway, so the idea is that she has been killed, but Langiva says that wakes him up in the night and says that. She's going to bring her back from the dead.
Right.
Well, she says you need to see this. She doesn't actually say I'm going to bring you back.
She doesn't tell him. She
takes
him
just
out
takes
in the
him
dark.
out. She looks through the forest.
Leaves him kind of in the woods to watch while she goes into like the little swampy area and does whatever with all those chicks.
Yeah.
And they put like white face paint on her and stuff.
They're all done up. They're clearly doing some ritual. Yeah.
And then Avril does rise back up. And the implication is that yes,
They brought her back from
Langiva
the
is
dead.
really a necromancer and truly does have these magical powers.
And that she is keeping the village
Yeah.
safe, and furthermore, whether it's true or not, right? She's put herself in a position of power in this village.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
she's very much protecting.
She's a
herself.
cult leader,
Yeah.
essentially.
Exactly, she is. She's in a position.
Like, everyone looks at her as like, oh, this is the all-powerful...
Mm-hmm.
Because she probably drugs everyone, but...
Who knows?
Who
Who's
knows?
to say? Yeah.
But yeah, that's key because Osmond, I believe, is also the only one who hasn't been drugged.
Yes.
Because he doesn't drink.
Also because she is pulling his strings.
Yeah.
She thinks she doesn't need to drug him, that he can be kind of pulled into their little society.
For whatever reason, they want to keep him. Yeah.
Maybe to glean information about the church.
Probably,
and
yeah.
I would guess something like that would be her motivation. She doesn't say specifically why she's working so hard to get him kind of to stay in the village with her or whatever.
What I kind of took is maybe Avril had some sort of knowledge of something and she only wanted to be with Osmond, and that's why she wanted Osmond, because he doesn't really know much other than church stuff.
Well,
And-
I would my reasoning. I didn't even think about it when I was watching it, but my reasoning would be that they know there's already been a mission of knights sent.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the second mission of holy knights.
Right.
And maybe she would have thought that Osmond's got inside, because he's a priest.
Yeah.
He's got the inside scoop on whether more guys are coming.
Exactly.
That would make the most sense.
It's
to me.
information gathering.
Yeah, somehow glean some information about the church and what the church's goals are or whatever, and whether they're going to send more guys to fuck with them, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that takes us back to they've been drugged. They are imprisoned essentially in like those Vietnam water cages.
Yeah, which is the coolest fucking thing ever.
Those
That's
are fucked
gross,
too,
man.
because the idea is that being in the water will rot your body.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're trapped, right? It's gonna go necrotic. Plus, it's cold water, so
Yeah.
you're fucking freezing.
Yeah.
Like, what a prison.
Yeah.
What a prison.
And it's crazy because it seems so flimsy,
Mm-hmm.
but you're getting weaker the longer you're in there.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
actually the ways that people came up with to hurt other people is always very impressive to me. It's impressive.
Every time you think, like, I'm a big true crime person, I think you guys are true crime people too.
I'm a true crime person.
Yeah, and I'm
True
always just absolutely amazed by the horrible. I always think I've heard of everything,
Mm-hmm. There's always someone who's innovating some new way. Yeah.
and then you're like, holy, like, how many fucking horrible ways is there to like kill someone or hurt them?
Humans are very creative animals.
And I guess some people's creativities just go the wrong way.
Yeah.
Some people started a podcast, other people, dismember
kill,
people.
murder,
or
and
whatever.
torture people and put their heads in freezers.
Some people also have a podcast that also do the same.
No, yes, of course. So this is where they start. They want them to renounce God, and if they renounce God, they can stay in the village, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they want no God in this place. God has forsaken them. Yeah. God is punishing them with the plague, so they've renounced God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea is they're going to take one soldier out at a time, and basically execute them unless they
renounce.
unless they
Yeah.
I was just saying convert, but
Converts. I think they even use the word convert, right?
convert to their ideology
Paganism
of
or whatever.
paganism
Yeah.
or whatever, witchcraft or whatever.
Right.
The first to be pulled from the water cage is Dallywag, and they all kind of boast very much before the violence starts. She's trying for sure. She keeps asking them. I can't remember which guy she asks. Ulrich obviously turns her down, and then she asks one of the other guys, and he says, "I will fight Ulrich to be the first to die."
Right. Yeah. That's
Which is
fine,
fucking
yeah.
badass.
Fucking hardcore. Eh?
Super badass.
Yeah.
For the right to be the first to die. So Dallywag is pulled first, and he gets it pretty fucking bad.
Yeah,
man.
they make an example, man.
Whew.
Crucifixion.
They drag him over.
disembowelment.
Yeah, they drag him over. Very specifically, it's not a cross that they crucify him on.
Right.
They crucify him on one of those X crosses.
Yes.
So like
Because they don't want a cross.
They're not going to build a cross. in their
No
village.
monuments to God. to
Which
Christianity.
again, Game of Thrones. The the Boltons.
Yeah, the
There's-
flayed man is a cross.
The flayed
yeah.
man is like the X cross that they use. But yeah, they crucify him and rip his guts out while he's still alive.
Yep.
And it's pretty. I think the way they shoot that scene,
It's fucking awesome.
makes it really fucking intense.
pretty
Because they're
raw.
doing they do kind of a shaky cam thing here and there throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But in that scene, it's very effective.
It's steady.
No, it's.
Is it still shaky?
It's as they're dragging him around.
Right, okay,
and
yeah.
Stuff, the camera's shaking. The camera's kind of focused on his face, and it's kind of shaking around as they're like dragging him around. And stuff.
For the frantic.
Yeah, and it gives it this really fucking intense, like you're in there with him.
Yeah,
feel
like
is what
you're
they're-
being dragged out as well,
Yeah.
right? But I think when they do the crucifixion and the disembowelment, it's very focused.
That is
It's
steady,
steady, and it's framed, and it's frozen on him getting fucking...
And they tell him once he gets pulled, they say, "Die well, my friend."
Right, yeah.
It's fucking it's
fucking
metal-ish.
awesome. It is,
Fucking
yeah.
metal-ish shit, man.
Yeah.
These guys don't give a fuck.
Nope.
Well, except for Swire.
Swire is shaken.
Swire is
Yeah.
the one, who kind of loses his nerve after seeing the horrible way that they killed Dallywag. And before we jump to that, I think it's really cool and fucking really unsettling that Dallywag sings
On his way out.
on his way out.
Because this is arguably the nastiest of the bunch, right?
Yeah.
This
I
guy's-
forgot to even mention
Yeah.
they
He's-
break his legs too.
Okay, I had forgotten. But this guy is the one that I believe they say is like an ex-torturer. This guy is a butcher,
he's the one that
torturer.
sharpens the thing on the...
Yeah. He's a
Iron
man
Man.
of murder. He's a
They actually before they crucify him, then they smash his legs with sledgehammers,
Right, okay, yeah.
and then they disembowel him
Yeah.
while he's still alive, and then he bleeds out and dies. It's fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
That's-
So it made some hard men weak.
That
Yeah,
song
at least
he
one of them.
sings,
Yeah.
he sings it early in the movie when you first meet him, when he's sharpening the axe on the Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
I was humming it after I heard it first time.
It's got a beat. It's got that old school beat. So Swire is pretty shaken, as Kyle mentioned, and he decides that he will renounce.
Yeah, he gives it up, man. He does not want that shit.
And Wolfstan says multiple times to him, he's like, "I assure you,
They will kill you.
they will kill you."
Yeah. They're not here to grant your freedom. They're gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
They just want to make you look like a bitch before they do it.
Yeah.
And they succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes out crying like a baby, renouncing God.
They make him say, "I renounce God, I renounce the Holy Spirit, and I renounce Jesus Christ."
Yeah.
I believe are the three things that he has to say.
Yeah, that something about casting God out of his body is part of it. Yeah, yeah, and of course, then the guys are like, "Well, you're going to be in hell if you do that."
Yeah. If you believe in that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and then of course
His reward is
Wolfstan is right.
yeah.
He's dragged out to the woods. Well, they say they're going to take him to the outskirts of the village and let him go. They let him go, all right.
Yeah, off of a tree with a rope.
I mean, still, he got off pretty late.
Yeah, but
I mean, I would rather be hanged.
It's true, but the implication, saying that it's light, there's also the implication that that's like the traitor's death, right? That's Judas's death in the Bible. So
Right.
he's hung like a traitor and like swine, and like that's his punishment. And the idea is that being killed like that, and after renouncing God, they have condemned his spirit to hell. Not that the pagans believe that, but because that's what he believes, they've done about the worst thing they could do to him, given him a dishonorable death, and then his spirit's
Being that,
burned to death.
as in most holy and or Bible stories and whatnot, the heroes are always the ones who die the worst.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you've been martyred horribly, then
you're the
you're
best.
Then you're a saint, you're a
Yeah.
hero, etc.
Well, yeah, just go die for God.
And unfortunately, now we're on Ulrich.
No, not
Not
Sean Bean
Not
again.
Sean Bean. And anyone who's seen Sean Bean in any movie knows that he's definitely not going to die.
Definitely not. No, this guy's the king of dying.
Yes, he's died.
Does it better than
He's
anyone.
actually died more than I believe any actor in recorded history.
I feel like I recently saw something about him saying that he will not do any more movies if the script calls for him to die.
There's
He's
a-
tired of being the guy that dies.
There's a super cut on YouTube of every Sean Bean death, and it's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Of course, one of the legendary ones is when he gets smashed by a satellite falls on him in GoldenEye,
I didn't even...
the James Bond movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot about that one.
I
Yeah.
didn't even remember that he was in that movie.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them, but so he's next, and oof, he's gonna have a bad time too.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we're back to the horses because we don't know where these horses came from, and it's possible that they're literally. I think we would need to
we'd have to look and see
go
if they're the
back
same
and actually
horses.
see
Yeah.
if they're the same horses. Because if we looked at them and they look like the same horses, probably
then we could
they are.
guess that
But
it's right. That
I
these
think
guys,
the
yeah.
implication again, because there's two horses. Two horses is what they lost. I'm thinking the
Odds
implication
are, yeah.
is that's where they got these two horses. So they're going to kill him with his own horses.
Right.
You also don't see any horses in the village.
That's what
It's
I meant.
just the
Oh,
two.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just the two, and there's
Yeah.
only been 2 horses in the fucking movie. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's
Well,
three.
whatever. You know what I'm saying, dog.
So yeah, he is set to be drawn and quartered, as they say.
Pulled apart.
Yeah.
He's not horsing around anymore.
Well, his voice is going to be quite hoarse by the time they're through with him.
Nay.
Oh, god damn it.
Why the long face, Sean Bean?
Okay, yeah, so Amanda's about to die.
Right. Oh yeah.
Sorry, we should stop laughing. Amanda's about to be horribly murdered.
Right.
I did laugh at that a little bit too much.
So yeah, he has his arms and legs tied to the horses, and they begin to torture him that way.
Yeah.
And it seems to be pretty, like with the sound effects and everything.
It's pretty, like they're pulling him apart slow, right? Like popping bones out of sockets.
Because they're trying to get him to renounce.
They want him to give up God, but this man ain't doing that.
And he won't.
It's Sean
And
Bean.
it is a hard scene to watch.
It's pretty grisly. Yeah.
Because your feet, like you can see him, like I don't know. Sean Bean's a great actor.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
They do such a good job of making the tension on his limbs and the pulling seem very real. Because you know what it's trying to do, which is to dismember him by pulling him apart. You know it's coming, and so you're waiting for that moment. But they draw it out so long, and they like you said, the sound effects of the pop and the creak. You're waiting for his limbs to
and
get
him
out.
scream.
Yeah. So they draw that shit out. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I think they do it to him twice, 2 or 3 times.
It's a few times.
And then he says he wants to see the priest.
Yeah.
Which Langiva allows, and then he tells him to open his coat.
Yeah.
And we get the fucking best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Where he reveals that actually he has been infected.
Yeah.
And he's like, now you're all fucking dead.
Brought the
essentially.
plague to the village.
It's
Fuck you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's so fucking awesome. And I believe the line is, I am death, vengeance is mine.
Yeah.
That's a very Batman-esque.
It's fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
And then Langiva just points to Hob and he smacks the backs of the horses. And yeah, Sean Bean pulled apart.
Now there's 5 Sean Beans.
String beans for supper.
Luckily he did not die in vain, because while this is all happening, the surviving characters
Wolfstan and Mold
are using this as an opportunity to escape from the cage.
Yeah.
And they do escape. Mold is killed during the fight after.
Right.
And Wolfstan and Ulrich Wolfstan and
Osmond,
Osmond are the only survivors.
Mm-hmm.
They
Those two do some fucking work, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking just...
Well, that's the thing, is I believe all the women run, essentially.
Well, yeah, and then they just go wholesale on the fucking rest of the villagers. Whoever
Yeah, the
tries to come at
few
them.
guys who are left.
Yeah.
And then obviously Hobbs the heavy.
Mhm.
But they injure him, and then he's the one who they're going to take back.
Yeah.
As the man to basically stand trial, because Langiva also
She's
escapes.
gone, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they escape.
They've
They've captured Hob.
Yes.
And Osmond has gone after
Langiva.
Because he wants to kill her, essentially.
Yeah.
For what she did to, and what she forced him to do.
Yeah.
Because after he is put in a position to be reunited with Avril, Avril can't talk.
Right.
And she seems to be like some sort of like fucked up walking corpse.
Seems like a zombie, like what you'd expect from someone brought back from the dead. Right?
That there's something wrong with them. They didn't
She's
come
not
back,
all there.
They didn't come back properly
It's
or
not
whatever.
quite right.
Sometimes dead is better.
Sometimes dead is better.
as they say. And then he basically, what he believes is he put her out of her misery.
Right, he kills her.
Put her down.
She's well, in his mind, she's already dead, right? So
yeah, so he's basically putting her down.
Yeah.
While he's chasing Langiva, she reveals, which again I'm not sure.
It's
And
hard
I think
to
it's
say.
a smart, because we've talked about when movies are kind of pussing out by doing this, but I don't think this movie is, because this is a film about faith.
Right. Well, okay. Let's drop it first and then talk about it. So she raises the question. She says that she only drugged Avril to make
That
her
Avril was
look
never
like
dead
she
to
was
begin
dead.
with, yeah.
She was never dead, and that she's only dead now because Osmond
Killed her.
Which we don't know. And in this case, you're right. It's not pussing out. That drives a much harder line, like you said, of
Because
of faith.
it's a film about faith.
Yeah, of faith and of. It's up to Osmond to decide whether this is true or not,
And us, obviously.
and us as viewers.
Yeah.
But and it doesn't spell it out. We don't know.
And then she manages it, and then she escapes.
Yeah, and then she's gone. She disappears into the boggy mist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he sees the woman he loves dead, and he doesn't know what's going on, and he thinks, oh, he also says, you'll be with God soon, and I'll see you soon, too.
I
So
mean-
he's like,
Yeah.
is she dead? Is she not?
No, and that's the whole thing. Is the only person who told him that she was dead was her.
It's her.
Yeah.
And then
can't be
she
trusted.
pulls him out to show her supposedly bringing her back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's possible that she really did, and she's punishing him now
Mm-hmm.
for not joining her
Yeah.
by making him think that he's the one who killed her.
Right, and
Or
this-
it's also possible that, like she said, it was all fake to begin with.
Who knows?
And she was just doing it
Yeah.
to control people.
Either way, it crushes Osmond, right? Like, it breaks the man.
Oh, yeah. You also, you can't, like, when they say it's a demon and a necromancer, you can't tell what is what. Like, from the beginning of when they say that, it's like, is any of this real? Or, like, we've
toes the
talked
line.
about this already, but...
Yeah, the faith. The
It's-
whole faith
yeah.
element.
Yeah.
Whether, because the village is a village of non-believers, and all the main characters we're following are all believers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the film is about the clash between belief and non-belief, and it's just anyway. I think there are films where I feel like it's pussing out when they don't answer, but I think in this film, this is a case where I think it works that they don't. Like, it works in its favor.
It works in its favor, I think, because it has to. I think the film. I mean, it needs that question to be ambiguous for the arc,
and
the
of course
character
it feeds into the ending of the movie,
which is the fucking awesome.
It is
It's so dark and bleak.
Oh, this is a nasty
It's so
fucking movie,
bleak.
but I love it. That's why I picked
dude.
it after like all these fun horror comedies.
Yeah,
We've
been
But
doing-
let's pick something
Let's.
horrible and fucking bleak.
Yeah.
Nasty fucking movie.
Yeah, Osmond comes as a broken man.
Yeah, and he becomes a torturer.
He becomes the
himself.
Black Death. I think that's why they called the movie the Black Death, because throughout the movie they call it the Pestilence. They don't actually say the Plague or the Black Death. They
Well,
just,
it's possible.
He wears black at the end too, and he's
Okay.
That's
killing
possible.
women.
I'd take
That's what
that.
that's what I
possible.
grasped from the movie.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'd take that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Hob gets taken back. Wolfstand surrenders him to be killed, to be executed. And then, Ulrich, I keep confusing the names. Osmond goes on his basically holy war.
Yeah, he becomes a
to
knight
find
of the church.
Langeva.
Yep.
And the narrator, who turns out to be Wolfstand, the surviving knight, kind of is basically explaining. He's like, some people, again, it's left open.
We don't know.
Faith versus reason. He says some people say that he found her and killed her, and other people say he looked for her forever and never found her.
Yeah,
but he saw her in the face.
And the implication is that he just sees women that remind him of Langeva and just fucking burns them like a witch.
Yeah, has them all tortured and murdered,
exactly.
one after another. He becomes like the worst person. Like,
which is where I actually agree with Brady's point, saying that he becomes the Black Death because he's going around and just killing.
I didn't even
wholesale.
I didn't even consider that, but
Me
that
neither.
is an interesting. Often movies do that.
The double
entendre. Yeah, exactly. So that's the second time.
Double innuendo.
Yes, I believe that's the second time we've had that particular six or seven syllable word.
Yeah.
But and then the movie basically ends on that heavy dark note.
Yeah.
That he's become, like, he basically goes from being the most innocent and pure character to the most horrible and nasty character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also his hair. He goes from having monk hair to having like Dave Mustaine, Holy War, Megadeth hair.
Yeah, fucking awesome movie.
Such a good movie.
Oh, amazing fucking movie.
Yeah.
I had such a fun time. I thought this movie could have been longer.
Saying it's a fun time is maybe arguable, but I understand what you're saying. Like, it's a fucking great movie, but it does not put you in a fun place. It's fucking sick.
It's yeah. Like,
it's a fucking
It's a
awesome movie,
fake
but it's
loss.
the
nasty
practical
horror.
kill effects they show in the beginning when like they're fighting the
outlaws or whatever?
outlaws, like Ulrich chops a guy's head off, and it's only like a blinkety miss a thing, but like
You know,
it looks like an actual head.
you know
decapitation.
what I also noticed, and this is going to sound very suspect, but the corpses look very real. Like early on in the film, when you're seeing all the Black Death,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
they look very real. Like they look like real corpses, and I don't say that from experience. I just say that from knowing that often when you see a corpse in a movie, it's just the actor.
It's just a person
laying there looking dead-eyed. These corpses, they've got the white paint on them, and their eyes are like some of them. Their eyes are black, and like they
put a lot of work.
They put a lot of effort into making them look
I wondered,
like real corpses.
I wondered, and I'd have to go back and look closer, maybe look it up, but I don't know how much of those are actual just people in makeup, or maybe just set pieces that have been done up.
Yeah,
with,
it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But they look like they're very convincing.
Yeah.
A lot of movies have these fake ass looking corpses.
No, they went
but
all
this
in on
one
these
looks quite
emaciated
real.
looking.
I know with skeletons, it's cheaper to get real skeletons than it is to get
A
fake
big one?
skeleton. Yeah,
That makes sense.
There's a movie that'll be coming up in the show later on that will dive into that more.
Sweet.
But there's like bodies you can get from morgues for from other countries that are cheaper.
Interesting.
Yes, but that'll be coming up in a later pick. I will explain that.
I'm glad I looked at this. I think it's also ironic that he early on he attempts to save a woman from being burned alive.
Right.
Yes,
And then
by the end,
at the end, he's the one doing the burning.
Yeah, and I mean that's 100%. That's on purpose for to show his arc. I think that's fucking sweet too. Yeah.
Yeah. What a nasty
It's
fucking
such
piece
a
of work,
good movie.
but great movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking great movie.
Yeah.
Do we have any final thoughts you want to add in addition?
I don't really. I think we've talked about most of it. I think maybe my final thing I would say is like, there's not scary moments in this as a horror movie. It is a horrifying movie.
It's very disturbing.
It
yeah.
is
There's no
fucking-
jump scares.
No, it is just a grisly fucking movie, and it's so awesome. It is such a good movie. I watched this, like I said, I don't know when I watched it, but it was just on a streaming service, and much like you, Mike, I saw Sean Bean, and I read what it was about, and I'm like, this sounds fucking sweet. So
Yeah, I'll take
did
it.
not expect what I got, but I loved it, so I was really pumped when you picked this.
And you're in and you're out. I think before the
quick.
credits hit,
Yeah.
it's about hour 35.
Well, they don't fuck around.
Hour 40 with the credits.
Yeah.
So for a medieval film, it sets the tone very quickly.
That's what I was gonna
and
say.
jumps right into, because a lot of times with the medieval stories, you get the guys whipping themselves, which
Yeah.
is also a real thing.
Yeah.
And you get these little bits and pieces of what else is going on in this world. But yeah.
Well, we've had other ones on the show already with a runtime of about an hour and a half, but we've often criticized them for spending 40 minutes of that setting up shit that no one cares about and doesn't matter.
And somehow this does that.
This does the same runtime, but it gets into it right away.
And it works.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. And I think like that's what your movie should be. You don't need to spend 40 minutes setting your fucking useless...
No, yeah.
No one gives a shit. Just get to the point.
Smartly they do the character development as the journey goes on.
Yes, which is
And
the
the
sign of a
journey
good
doesn't take
storyteller.
that long,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, even some of the characters being pieces of shit, you still kind of care
You do.
for the characters a little bit.
Because it's the band you're following.
Yeah, it's because they're the characters you're following. It's the same trick as the Devil's Rejects pulse on a
Absolutely.
much more extreme scale,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since the characters
These
you're
are
following
your sights and
are
your
kind
worlds.
of bastards, but these are the characters you're following, so you kind of relate to them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, solid pick, man. I'm super happy.
I'm
you picked
I'm
it.
so happy
Yeah.
to watch this again.
And like you said,
What a
it's
great
great
movie.
to get back to these kind of movies
Nasty
after we did so many stupid ones. Yeah.
Just
we didn't do
nasty,
alone.
nasty
Yeah.
movies.
Fuck yeah.
Anyway, yeah, great movie.
Yeah, man.
I didn't quite go the full 5. I went 4.5.
Yeah, that's.
But still, great.
How much better can you get?
Great fucking movie,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
With
Brady?
that,
No, I
No, you're
just
good?
really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah,
I,
it was
excellent.
I'm gonna give it another watch when I get home, probably.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Show those streaming assholes. Say,
Fuck
make
yeah.
more movies like this, you
Yes.
pricks.
Yeah.
Make
Also,
good
2010 had
films.
so many good movies, and then they started doing the cheeseball comedy movies, and they weren't funny.
No. Yeah, 2010 was quite a banner year for film, actually.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it. But speaking of film, now it's time.
Is it me?
It's time to bounce it to Mr. Comedy
hell
World
yeah.
to see what we're following up this gruesome, macabre masterpiece with.
I had said at one of our, I think the last episode we did, that I was taking it back to the darker foundations of horror.
Excellent.
So we're gonna do one of my all-time favorites. Maybe my number 2, not my number 1. Probably my number 2.
Really?
Probably my number 2. Event Horizon.
That is a movie that me and my friends watched repeatedly as teenagers.
Likewise, huge
I think it was,
part of my young years.
Yeah, like you, I imagine we're pretty close in age.
Yeah.
It was like one of the first real mindfuck. Holy shit!
Yes.
I didn't know horror movies could be this nasty.
This was, I mean, I'd watched a lot of horror movies by the time I'd watched this, but this is certainly one of the foundational movies for me that took me into this.
It's a banner movie.
It's dark,
it's a banner movie for me as well.
Fucking awesome movie. Pumped.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I am also excited. The sci-fi Hellraiser.
Yeah, basically. Oh, yeah, that is essentially. Yeah, it's basically Hellraiser in space. I would imagine that's probably even
Hellraiser in space.
I imagine that's probably even how they pitched it.
Probably how they sold it. Yeah.
But
so if you like the sounds of that, stick around, team.
Yes, come back for more. We have such sights to show you, as they might say.
Where we're going, we don't need eyes.
Right. So until next week, when we're talking about Event Horizon, we will see you in
7 days.
And until then,
Keep your eyes open.
And we're out. Outer space.
Outer space.